your girl Diamond, and welcome back to my channel. Excuse the face right now. I do not feel like putting on no makeup. I don't feel like putting on that concealer, that foundation, that whole step process. I felt like put on some lip gloss, have my water, and right hop into it. So, as y'all know, I'm really sorry for the delay of this video. This video was supposed to be out the same time I posted my other video, which was yesterday. So I wanted to give you all a back-to-back upload, but back-to-back upload is just not giving what it's supposed to give. I edit the video, guys. I put everything in order, and I downloaded the video 5 times. And everything was like the whole content was there. Then the last time I downloaded the video, guys, it just blacked out. Like everything's gone. The only thing that was there was the intro, and everything else was a raging VCR mess, like a broken VCR. So it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, and now I gotta do this video all over again. But that's no problem. I love giving you guys content. I love giving you guys what you guys are supposed to get. So let's hop into it. Before we hop into it though, make sure you guys follow my Instagram, which is always in my about, always in my intro at the real Dominique underscore THEREAL Dominique DIANIQUE underscore on Instagram. My page is officially a video creator content public, so y'all can swipe and see where I am, see where I be, see what I be doing, ask questions, I'm always there, recommend videos. And if you're also feeling very nice and generous, you can definitely go to my about section on my channel and go to my PayPal and just donate, because as you already know, as I already said, all amount helps, and it all goes to the cause of this channel to support and grow as a whole. So now let's get right into it now. So the story time that I'm gonna tell you guys as of today is the story time I was telling you guys yesterday. I don't know why. Why are dudes like this though? Like, you could be in a relationship and you don't want to like do anything sexual with them. Like, you could want a straight platonic friendship, and they be trying to take that platonic friendship and turn it into something more. And today we go air this boy out because he just did too much, and like, we're not trying to do all that, but let's get into it. So this boy was called Les Wish, and I met him on the Woo's World gaming platform. I don't know why, y'all, but all my story times definitely come from a gaming platform. Like, it's never real life, it's never problematic real life, it's always problematic games. And I'd be so unproblematic person that, like I said, like, I don't know, you could be so unproblematic and still get into a problematic situation. And it's always depending on who you hang out with. I hang out with nobody and I still be getting myself into problematic situations. Like, what the actual F? So, like I said, guys, the story time is about the Switch. I met up on Woo's World, and Woo's World is a preteen team game. And before you ask, what am I going to ask doing on that game? I just said what my point of doing on this game, because the game is boring, and when it's boring, I just hop on that one and see what y'all 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and 10-year-olds drama y'all be having, grown women issues and grown women problems that y'all really shouldn't be having. Y'all should be focused on graduating middle school, going to high school, graduating high school, getting all those good grades, and going straight into college. But y'all be having grown folks issues as if y'all are grown, when really you guys are just, just starting y'all lives and just starting everything you guys have already. But like I said, that was his username on Woo's World, and I met him there. So in Woo's World, there are units. Their units are rooms, and all the rooms have different things, different experiences, and different givings. Like, they will give and they will serve. So there's clubs, donation rooms, free rooms, big store businesses, houses, mansion, parties, whatever. You just click from the selection below, and if there's events will be at the top. But I met him literally in a most popular room, and I don't remember which one it was, but I think it's the two I hang out in, which is Hollywood Beach and Club Laser. So I feel like I met him in those two rooms, one of those two rooms. I'm not exactly sure because once I like delete people from my life, like I totally forget the history of how we met, and I don't ever think that I'm gonna revisit this history. But sadly, I am today. Well, unfortunately, I am today to give you all the tea. So I met him in one of those rooms, and I'm a very selective social person, guys. So to me, when I choose to talk to you or choose to have a conversation with you, it's a very special, I cherish that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I cherish that bond that is starting, or I'm cherishing the bond that starts from a little seed, and I'm hoping that it progresses into something more and not just stay a seed and we never talk again. So in this case, it was basically a STEM type friendship. Like it didn't even blossom or nothing. Like it was just a STEM. Me and him was in a room, like I said, one of those two rooms, and we were having a good conversation. We were vibing, just how friends vibe, stand beside each other, talk, get to know each other, and the conversation did progress. Like it really did. Pause, guys. Hold on. Like the conversation really did progress. Like to the point where it was so interesting that I decided to take it upon myself and bring him to one of my units so we could actually have a one-on-one and I get to know him. And the reason why I did this, guys, because it's really hard. Well, it's not really hard, but it's hard for some people to have a conversation with you in a room when there's like 8 to 10 different conversations going on in a room, and you can't keep track of what's going on or what the person said because you have to either scroll up, or when you say BRB or take your time, or be right back, or be right back for a second, BBRS, BRBS, like it's just really hard. So I decided to take the conversation into my private unit so that way one conversation is going on, and it's not 8 different conversations going on. So we were talking, we were vibing, and I just wanted to get to know him. Like I just wanted to get to know the person that I'm talking to, because for starters, like I just said, it's a preteen game. So I didn't really know what age group I was talking to. He could have been 9 to 10, 13 to 19, 19 to 20, or 21 to 20, 29, or 30 to whatever. I just wanted to get a sense of who I'm communicating with, and this is what he said. So just have a notepad down so I can keep track of what I just said, like just for this part. So he asked me how old am I, and I told him 19. And by the way, my butterflies, I'm not 19, but when I'm just knowing you for the first time, I'm not trying to give you my real age while I'm on there, especially because it's a preteen game as well. I don't know you, so I just don't know you that well for just me to give out your age. I mean, that is weird, but at the same time, it's just like the only age group I've seen on there for the period I've been on there is 19. Anywhere older, it's like a no-go. You also become like labeled as a pedophile, so no. So I told him I was 19, and he told me that he didn't really tell me what his age was, so I jokingly said, "You're probably a little boy. Like, you really probably a little boy." And he was like, "No, he's like, I'm definitely older than you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, how old?" And he didn't really get into how old he was. He just says, "Just know I'm older than you." So I assumed that he was 20 or 24. But then he ended up telling me that he was 20. So I was like, okay, you're just 1 year older than my fake age, but in actual real life, I'm probably older than you or whatever. So I felt like maybe he's one of those kids that, lie about their age just to hang out with somebody and like get some whatever experience of anybody. You know how some kids are when they hang with an older lady, they feel like it's a sexy. When they hang with an older person, it's like a sexy fetish type thing. So we get to talking to each other, and he was just like, "Are you a big girl, or are you just thick?" And I was honest with him. I was transparent with him. I don't remember exactly what I said, but all I remember for sure is that I was honest and transparent with him. And he told me that he was 499 pounds. He was a big motherfucker. Like, he was a big motherfucker. And tell me why. I don't know why, guys. I was picturing my 800-pound life big. I don't know why I was, but I was, and only because I don't know, he was close to being there, because that's what he said allegedly. I'm gonna tell you guys why I'm saying allegedly. He said he was 498 pounds, and I'm like, okay, you a big nigga you a big nigga, you were a gamer or whatever. So I'm looking at his profile to really see, because usually on the profile of Woosworld, people usually put like what they're into, their habits, who they listen to, and their music. So I asked him if he was a basketball player based because his name was LaSwish. I don't know. Is that stereotypical? Like, you just ask somebody based on what they had that they could be a basketball player. He said he's not a basketball player. So, I look through his feed and I see that he doesn't have a face reveal or anything, because I don't know if you can put like your BTA, which means behind the Avi, but I don't know if you can put that on News World because I've never seen anyone do it, unless maybe you're on like PC, but mobile, I don't really know. So I seen that he had a male person that raps. So I asked him, like, was that him before he got like big or whatever? And he kept saying, what, who, what? And I was like, the video you have on your YouTube, the video you have on your profile, is that you? He said, what video? And I'm like, it's the only video on your page. What do you mean, what video? And I was like, the first one with the dude. And he was like, no, that's just my favorite rapper from where I live and where I stay at. So I was like, okay, all right, cool. So I want to say months passed by, but it hasn't been a month. So the real truth is weeks go by. So, and this was basically the whole of October, basically. So basically a month. Well, half of a month, I believe. I think, was it half of a month or like weeks go by? Anyways, I'm just gonna stick with a month because I don't know. I feel like this happened in October, like October of itself. So we get to linking up progressively, and I'm talking about progressively. Like, he would join me on me like pics of shopping. He would join me getting freebies. We would meet each other in Hollywood Beach or Club Laser, because I forgot to mention, I asked him where does he like to chill, and he mentioned he's always in the units that I like to chill in. And I said, okay, so he just told me that. So we would always hang out in those two units, and it was progressive conversation. Then I noticed, guys, that he started to get mad flirty. Like, really, really mad flirty. So we would go in rooms and we would have normal conversations or whatever. But he would get mad flirty. Like, he would kind of grab on my pixel waist and, well, a hug is a hug. Like, a hug's normal. Like, I'm not thinking anything of it. But he gives me a hug and, but like, he just grabbing my pixel waist and always attempting to grab my pixel ass for the game that we play. And he would always like, you're so beautiful. Like, he would just say really flirtatious things, right? So progressing on to this, like, it's a consistent thing, like, he would do. And then I would peep some things as well. So one of the things that I peeped was that when he didn't get to do what he wanted to do, he would be mute. When I mean mute, I mean literally like mute. Or another one of the things he would say is that his his game is not working. So, what do you say? His game's not working. So, could you PC him? And PC means private chat. So, he would I would PC him, but the PC would be the same thing. Like, he would just flirt with me or attempt to flirt with me. So it progresses, it carries on, and then the conversations get a little more too in depth with the flirtation. Like, the first set, it was simple, whatever, playful, whatever, but then I noticed that it's starting to progress and it's starting to get even more deep, and I'm going to explain to you guys exactly why. So he knows that I have a boyfriend right off the bat. Like, it's in my bio. I've told him, so he knows. Like, it's in his head, but I feel like he's not the type to accept the fact that I'm in a relationship. So this one particular day, we were talking, right? And I wanted to chill with him. I just wanted to have like a normal chill thing. I was bored, you know. He wasn't on. I was just shopping, and I didn't feel like talking to nobody. I just wanted to talk to him because I was the only person I knew on the app that I talked to progressively. So obviously, I said to him, hey, what's up? Because he was on. He took a whole hour just to text back. So I'm like, hey, do you want to chill? And he was like, what do you mean by chill? I'm like, huh? We always do this. What do you mean by what I mean by it? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, do you want to chill? And then he just said out of nowhere, like, his type of chill, y'all, I kid y'all not, his type of chill was what he said, and it's coming out of his mouth. He said that his type of chill was get on, and all the female friends that he has, he'll fuck them, leave them, dip, and then leave the game. That was his type of chill. And I was like, I'm not on that. And I need to hear all that, but that's not what I'm trying to do. And he was like, I was like, my type of chill really is just chilling with my friends, talking, laughing, talking about their day, cracking jokes, sharing like videos that they seen, music, or just doing what friends normally do. Not friends with benefits, not any of that entanglement, sexual type shit. I just wanted a straight ass normal friendship. And he said, I don't clock me on this, but I do believe he said, oh, or that's boring. I kid you not. One of those two. Or he probably said something else. And then he didn't text me back after that. Like, we never chilled, we never did nothing, whatever. So following days progress, he flirts, he does a bunch of things, and then he gets rejected, he gets curved, And then here's like the third thing that he does, which really made me regret the friendship overall. So we decide to expand, go go exploring, go beyond the units that we always hang out in. So we went to this little garden plaza unit. I think it's called Roosevelt Plaza, and there's many parts to it, but we decided to go in the main unit, and he came late, of course. It was probably from, he came back from fucking one of the girls that he broadly said he was fucking. So that's that. So here's where things get mad weird, son. So before any of that, before we actually meet up, let me actually tell you guys the beginning before we actually go in that plaza. So I'm in the middle of shopping. I told him, you can come meet me at this shopping place. And I'm sharing to him what I'm going to get, what the items that I want to get for my Abby to wear and walk around with. And he's saying, show me which ones. And I show him the ones. And then all of a sudden he buys them. And then he says, I got something for you. And then he trades the items to me. And I obviously take something off. I obviously go and buy him something as well and then give it back. Like, I'm that type of friend. If you buy me something, I mean, I'm not obligated to give anything back, but it's just the nature of how I raise myself. If you give me something, obviously I want to give you something back. So I did buy him a shirt from the game, not a bunch of shirts, just one particular shirt from the Halloween event, the pre-Halloween event that was going on. So I bought him that. Now leading up to where we went. So we're in the room that I buy my last thing. And he was like, and I was like, where do you want to go? Dead ass silence. So I'm like, hello. So I PC him, and I'm like, where do you want to go? And he was like, I don't know, where do you want to go? And I'm like, okay, I searched the globe, I'm like, okay, I said I have a room, follow. He follows me, and I ended up taking him to the room I just said earlier, the Roosevelt Plaza. So, it takes him a while to get in there because the unit is full. And I only went in there because I assumed that, it's cracking in there. Like, usually when units are full, it's always jam or something progressing in that room. But it was dead. Everyone was just standing there talking in Chinese or some other language. Sorry. So we choose this really empty corner and we're having a conversation. And of course, he's like chit-chatting, he's flirting, he's doing the most. And he's asking really uncommon questions about like, oh, why don't you let me put a baby in you and all this stuff. And then he says, are you shy about me impregnating you? And I said, I'm not a shy person when it comes to that area. Like, I'm a very, outgoing person when it comes to that thing. It's just I'm loyal and I have a man and I'm not gonna cheat on my man for your ass. I don't like your ass in that way, by the way. We're just friends. And then he goes mute. Like, he doesn't say anything else. Like, he goes mute. And I realized, and I started to put two and two together. I'm like, oh, okay. Every time I reject anything sexual or flirtatious that you say and I friend zone you, you go mute and you stop, having a decent conversation. Like, you just go from completely mute and then you say out of the blues that your PC stopped working or you can't type or you're lagging to PC you, and I PC you, and suddenly when I PC you, you can have the most bomb conversation in the whole wide world, but yet you can't have that same energy in public with me because I won't accept your flirtatious ways. Okay, bet. So the evening carries on, guys. The evening carries on. So I move my Abby to the picnic section and I stand on the mat, but then I realize that the mat's not a two-person type thing. And I think he realized that too. So he doesn't move his Abby. Then I go back, then he goes there, then I go back, then he goes back there, and I just stand beside him and I RP make a sandwich and I make my so-called supposed to be friend one, and he bites it, and then we're having a conversation. It progresses, and out of nowhere, and I kid you nowhere, I don't remember what the conversation was, but I do remember, I do feel like he was being flirty once again and inappropriate once again. This nigga, this motherfucker drops his pants and swings his pixel private air, and you can't see it because you know it's a preteen game, obviously. But he RPs, he RPs swings his private area to me, and I'm there mad uncomfortable and mad pissed. I'm like, bro, put your thing away. And he says, it's bigger than, he's like, his shit is bigger than the baguette bread, the French baguette bread. And I'm like, I do not care. I do not care. Put your shit away. And he puts it away. He goes mute. Then he leaves. Like, he just leaves. So I'm gonna tell you guys for future reference, that was all our conversations. Me shutting him down, me letting him know what it is, me letting him know I'm not interested in him, and he just keeps leaving me in a room and never coming back to that room. So let's fast forward. A day before Halloween, basically. So I actually get him to talk to me out in the open, but we're having a conversation. I'm RPing, pretending to play Mario Kart or another game, and he just stands there and he's just completely mute, and then he'll just flirt or whatever. So I tell him that I said to him, tomorrow's Halloween, I'm not gonna be on, Blues World overall. Like, I'm actually gonna I have work, so I have to get things done, and then when I come back, I'm obviously gonna do what I normally do on Halloween. And he said which was, and I said to him where I watch my two favorite movies, eat some candy, and probably explore other movies, which, future reference, guys, I did not end up doing any of this. I ended up watching the iconic show Praise the Liars, and I totally forgot about what I said I was gonna do. And then when I remembered, Halloween was already over. So I tell him this, and he doesn't really respond. So then I mentioned to him that I'm gonna go talk to my children on my Pixel game. And he was like, so when are me and you gonna have a kids? And what I really should have said was, out of all the girls that you be fucking and ducking and basically dogging them out, whatever, and then dipping and not talking to them again, one of them could provide you with that. I'm not gonna provide you all that nonsense. And he's like, he kept saying, are you shy? Are you shy? And I'm like, no, I'm not shy. I'm just not interested in you, and I'm interested in you whatsoever. And he was like, is it because you have a man? And I was like, duh, no shit. Like, I have a man. Like, I'm not gonna entertain your ass about children or even give you the opportunity to feel like, we go do anything. Like, I've never led you on. I made everything point blank and crystal clear, and you took it upon yourself to twist what I said to make it seem like I'm saying something to please you, when really it's always rejection. It's always been rejection, and you have a hard time accepting the fact that it's going to be rejection. So before I explain this last part, I just remembered that we exchanged socials, and I found out he lied about his age and who he was as an individual. But I don't know if that was his cousin he was posting on his page, or he was posting his homeboy or his favorite rapper. But all I know was he was never older than me, y'all. He was never older than me. And I'm gonna link his whole Instagram down below. He was never older than me. He was 18. He is from New York. And I don't, the picture that he was posting on his feed at the time, in Timberlands and that blue jacket or whatever, I don't know if that was him or not. That was his cousin. But I never really asked about who was on his page, or was that him before he got big. But what I seen was that he doesn't look 400 and whatever pounds I told you guys earlier. But there was a whole different person in his profile pic. So maybe he is, and that he just takes pictures of his favorite rapper's Instagram account and post it as him, and just goes around catfishing, because that's the only information I got for y'all at that point. And that's all I can tell y'all. Anyways, I forgot to tell you guys that part, but now let's get back into it. So, I jokingly RP take a stuffed teddy bear on the bed, and I fling it to him. And I said, since you want a child so bad, here is your child. This is your son. You can take care of that. I'm going to bed. And I leave and I say good night. I don't know what he did in that room last night, because that's where I left him. I don't know if he went to bed. I don't know if he stayed in that room and RP'd little fake family or whatever. I don't know what he did in that room, but I left and I went to sleep. That was it. Then, literally the next morning, I kid you not, guys, literally the next morning, I'm making sales from MP, but then I see a message from him. I kid you not. Let me tell you guys what the message actually said. So the message says, hey, what's up? Like, he got this man, like, he's gonna say, hey, what's up? And then the last message says, so when are we gonna adopt today? Or when are we gonna adopt? Basically is what it said. And I look at this message like, when did I say to this dude that we were actually something? Cause I know for a fact that I've curved him, I've rejected him, I've told him I just want to be friends, and I've said it like a bazillion times, and I always tell him whenever I get hit on by someone's 13-year-old child, and he always laughs about it and says that they gotta be more smooth. And I'm like, huh? And we be keeping and laughing about it, and then that's the end of the conversation. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, when did I tell him that we were gonna be together and that I'm gonna leave my boyfriend for his 18-year-old self? So I type back, I'm just like, I was joking, right? I clearly put LOL. And he's like, I know, but like, when we're gonna have a child? I'm looking at the text messages and I'm just like, I clearly typed that I was joking. And I clearly told you I put LOL after that whole RP. So what are you not getting? Like, what are you not comprehending? Are you not comprehending the rejection? Or are you not comprehending the fact that I said no? Or you're not understanding that I don't want to be a part of anything that you have to do with the bag of girls then that you are currently talking to, that you just said, that you told me not even a day before, but when we first met, when we met, you told me in like 2 weeks of when we were talking that you had a bag of girls then that you were fucking, and you just dipped. And you also told me in the midst of that, which I forgot to tell you guys again, in the midst of that, you did tell me that one of the girls that you were fucking likes you, and you're trying to see where it's going to go, and you don't know the status of if you're single or you're taken. So I'm gonna put the stats out there for you. If you're talking to somebody, it means that you are taken, okay? And until you guys actually stamp and put a title on it, talking does mean single, okay? Talking does not mean you're single. Talking means you are taken, okay? You are taken, and that's until you and her feel like put a stamp on it and say, yeah, we taken, this is my girl, this is my whatever, and y'all claim each other out in the public light. You are taken, but just not ready to come out yet until you guys figure out what exactly it is. So you are taken, sir, and I'm not gonna be no side. I'm never gonna be a side. I'm always the main, or I'm gone. Make sense? Makes sense. That's my advice to you if you're watching this video. You were taken, and you were still flirting with me. And I was actually taken and committed, so, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Anyways, guys, let me tell you what happened. So, it's like he wasn't comprehending that he was taken. He wasn't comprehending rejection. He wasn't comprehending anything of that sort. So, this is what it was. So he was like, is it because you have a nigga? And I was like, yes, it's because I have a nigga. And then he stops talking to me. So I pretty much told you guys I know the cycle of what he does, but I didn't think it was gonna end up to this, but it did, unfortunately. So literally the day after Halloween, I get on and I go to Hollywood Beach. I see him there, and I see him there with some girl. And I'm just like, wait, I checked my friends list. When I come on, I always do to see which one my friends are on. And it didn't show that he was on. Like, it never showed. So I go in my friends list where it says, the part where it says search. I type his name. It's not hard. I feel like he's the only nigga that's named that because there was no more options. So I type that in my friend's search, and I look, and it basically says, do you want to add this person as your friend? So I'm like, oh, okay. You unfollowed me. Okay, no problem. You unfollowed me. All right, cool, whatever. So I look, and I'm like, okay, usually I want you guys to understand something about Rules World. When you are someone's friend, the only option you're gonna see is blocked, or do you want to unfriend this person. When someone unfriends you, you get the three options of you get the option of friending them, or you get the option of blocking them. He basically unfriended me. So I'm just like, should I approach him and ask him why he unfriended me or whatever? But then I see a girl come in the room, and she stands beside him. I'm like, you know what? I'm not bothered to entertain this shit. I'm not bothered with my time with it or whatever. Clearly, he wifed up whatever, or he actually decided to pursue being with one of the girls that he said to me that he was fucking. I guess he decided to be committed to one of them because I wasn't caving in and I was taken. So, yeah, he unfriended me, and then I did the same thing too. And because we exchanged socials that one time, I unfollowed him too as well. And that was it. Like, I would get on, I would see him in a room, and I would see him in a room but don't say anything, or he would see me and then leave the room. And I kid you not, till this day, there is numerous of times where I've seen him in the same unit as me, guys, and he would leave that same unit. Like he wouldn't talk to me or anything. Like, he'll see me in the room and then just leave. And then after that, it was only 3 times, and then I never seen him again. So it's just like I don't know what it is, and I'm not gonna be like, oh, not all niggas can't handle it. There is a lot of dudes out there that can understand rejection and take rejection and understand that I just want a solid friendship and that you don't want anything more. But then there's some dudes that will hear you but not hear you, and then when they hear you they switch up things and make it seem like you said that you want to be with them when you don't want to be with them. So my butterflies, at the story time, I would definitely link his Instagram down below. I didn't have anything else for him besides Instagram. I don't think I can link his Woos World, but if you do play Woos World, he's not hard to find. All you would type in la.swish or it's la swish, and you will see a dark skin Abby with mop head curly hair, and just click on it if you feel Woo's World and just troll his ass or whatever. And don't, if you hang with him and you're a female in that game and you still play and you hang with him, don't hang with him. Especially if you're a married woman, don't hang with him. If you're single, don't hang with him. If you're going to pursue a relationship with somebody that you really like, don't hang with him. If you're going to do anything with him that is in a way of being romantic with him, don't hang with him. From personal experiences, do not hang with him. It's a waste of time. He's going to flirt with you every chance he gets. And then I highly doubt he'll be loyal because he told me he has a bag of girls that he fucks and leaves. So I want to say that he might, but you have to be really worth his time for him to actually be faithful to you. But other than that, it's just a waste of time. But anyway, my butterflies, that's the end of this video. I'm going to cut it here. And after this, I want to record a whole other video, but I don't know yet. But I will see you guys in the next upload. I love you guys. Bye.